Good morning. It is time for our math lesson. Today is Monday, May 18th. We are beginning a new chapter. We're still going to be working with measurement, but we're going to be working with a different system of measurement beginning today. So we were working with customary units before, which is the system that is most often used in the United States to measure. But the rest of the world uses metric units. And the reason that the rest of the world uses metric units is because they are easier to work with. They're easier to convert because it has a base 10 system. So every measurement is either 10 times, 100 times, or 1,000 times the other unit. So it's easier to remember, and it's also easier to multiply to find conversions. So we're going to talk about what the metric units of length are. So remember, a measurement of length is how long between 2 points an item is. So we're going to start by looking here. It says length is the measurement of a line between 2 points. Millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer are units that are part of the metric system of measure for length. Okay, so these are units in the metric system. So a millimeter is the smallest unit of length in the metric system. And a millimeter is about as thick of 6 pieces of notebook paper. So if you take a look here, like if I were to take 6 pages of our book, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we put those together, that's pretty skinny, right? This is the width of that. That's a millimeter. So it's pretty small. They're not very big. The next length is a centimeter. A centimeter is about the length of a ladybug. So still pretty small, all right? A meter is about the height of a chair. A kilometer is about 6 city blocks. Okay, so if you were to walk 6 blocks down a street, that would be about a kilometer. So a kilometer is a longer distance that you would measure, like if you were driving in a car. So if you go to any other country and you're driving on their freeway or highway system, and you know how there are signs that tell you how long it is to get from one place to another. In the US, all of our signs are in miles. In the rest of the world, all the signs are in kilometers, how many kilometers it takes to get from one place to another. All right, so let's take a look at example number 1, Math in My World. It says, Doug is growing carrots in his garden. He pulled out a carrot for lunch. Measure the carrot to the nearest centimeter. So first, you're going to align the ruler with a 0 on it on one tip of the carrot, okay? And then you measure to where the carrot ends on the other side, and you see that it ends in between the 11 and the 12, but it's closer to the 12, so the carrot is about 12 centimeters long. Okay, so when you are measuring to the centimeters, usually something will fall between 2 centimeters. You want to choose the centimeter that it's the closest to. So in this case, it's closest to 12, so it's about 12 centimeters. Let's take a look at example 2. It says, before measuring the length of an object, always estimate the length to decide which unit of measurement is best to use. So you always want to think about it before you measure. You want to think about what units would be the best units. So we want to choose the best estimate for the length of a student's desk. Okay, so remember, millimeters are tiny, tiny, tiny. There are 10 centimeter or 10 millimeters in every centimeter. So if you were to look, here's a ruler that I printed out that's centimeters. So there are 10 millimeters in this space. So this is a half of a centimeter. So that's 5 of them there and another 5 of them here. They're pretty tiny, right? So if I'm thinking here, so it's got some estimates, 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters would only be this long, or the length of about 5 ladybugs. Now, I don't know anybody who has a desk that tiny, right? So that's not a good estimate. 5 millimeters would be about half of a centimeter, another tiny desk. Nope, not gonna work, right? 50 centimeters, so that would be, so this is 30 centimeters, this whole ruler. So it would be adding another 2 more of these. That seems like that might be about the size of a desk, right? So having this plus another ruler up to here would probably be about right. 50 millimeters. Remember, there's 10 millimeters in every centimeter. So that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That would only be 5 actual centimeters. So that is not a good estimate either. So the best estimate is 50 centimeters, okay? Since 5 centimeters, 5 millimeters, and 50 millimeters are all too small, the answer is 50 centimeters. And you can abbreviate centimeters with cm, or choice C was the option. A, B, C was the correct option. Okay, let's take a look and do this guided practice down here. Okay, so first it says, estimate the length of the grasshopper, then measure to the nearest centimeter. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about the length of it, and I'm thinking back to the objects that it gave us examples of, right? Is it gonna be something that's really tiny, like the edges of pieces of paper, 6 pieces of paper? Or is it more like a ladybug? Or is it more like a chair? A chair is too big for a grasshopper, right? So I think we're gonna go with centimeters. I think millimeters are gonna be too small. So when I look at the ladybug there, I'm thinking it's about 2 ladybugs would be this length. So my estimate is 2 centimeters. Okay, so I'm gonna put estimate 2 centimeters. That's how many I think it is before I actually measure. Now I'm going to take my, my ruler, and I'm going to put the 0 with the first line, and I'm looking, and I see that it's between the 2 and the 3, okay? It's right in between the 2 and the 3. And as I'm looking, I have to decide, is it 2 or 3, right? And it's actually a little bit past the half. It's closer to the 3, so I'm gonna put 3 centimeters, okay? All right. Now, it says, choose the best estimate for the length of the kayak. Now, you wanna be thinking the length of an actual kayak, not the picture of the kayak, okay? So remember, a kayak is a small boat that holds a person, right? So we need to be thinking about that. Okay, so 6 centimeters, that would be like 6 ladybugs, or if I'm looking at my ruler, it would just be up to here. That's too small for a kayak. 2 meters, that would be about 2 chairs laying side by side. That seems like it could be a good estimate. 6 meters, that would be like 6 chairs. That seems like it would be too long for a kayak that's for just 1 person. And then 2 kilometers, that's a long way. That's pretty close to, that's like you would have to drive in a car, right, to go 2 kilometers. So, or you'd be going for an exercise, right? So the best estimate is 2 meters B, because about two chairs stacked together would be about the correct length, okay? So what you're going to want to do on page 777 and 778 is you are going to want to first estimate and then use a ruler to measure, okay? We are going to be posting in Schoology the ruler that you're going to need. It's going to be inside the assignment that you are going to be using. Now, of course, if you don't have a printer, then you're just going to have to give us the estimate of how many centimeters you think it is, okay? And then you're going to do 778, answer the word problems. Make sure you send a picture to your teacher showing that you completed your work, okay? Have a great day.